Hi friends, we are going to do some yoga, so go ahead and roll out your mat if you haven't already. And I like to begin at the back of the mat, so you've got the whole thing in front of you, and we're going to start off crisscross applesauce. And if you don't like to cross your ankles, maybe your feet fall asleep easily, then just don't cross them. It's not that big of a deal. Just sort of rock back and forth and find your resting place. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sit up nice and tall. And go ahead and close your eyes here for at least a second. You can bring your hand to your heart or leave both hands on your knees. But I'm asking that you turn inward for this moment. Take a nice inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And I want you to focus on the things that are in your life that you are happy that you have. The things you're grateful for. And some people think of yoga as a moving prayer, so let's sort of look at it that way as we move through this, trying to get through this quarantine, this lockdown everybody's in right now. If you can't think of something to dedicate your yoga practice to, then just focus on love. Now, if your eyes have been closed this whole time, go ahead and open them. And we're sitting up nice and tall, so you're not rounding forward, so the chest is puffed out and you're not slouching down. The spine is just nice and straight. See the top of your head reaching upward like a helium balloon. It's just always going a little higher. And we're going to let our hands come to the floor. And the palms are downward. And I'd like you to flip the hands up, the palms face up. Inhale, reaching up. Try not to puff the chest out as you reach up. Exhale, the palms now face the floor again as you come down. Flip the hands, inhale up. Exhale, flip them back as you go down all the way to the floor. Try to do that a couple more times, focusing on stretching out from the center. Your arms are like rays from the sun, just always reaching out further, all the way down. Keeping your spine nice and straight, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears like you're so tense, and then down the back, making big circles. Tensing and letting go. Tensing up and letting go. And then reversing, so coming up and then forward with the shoulders. And back to stillness. And now you're going to draw big circles with the top of your head. So you're just kind of circling the neck and the head around. Try to keep your spine straight. Hold on to the posture. Hold on to that nice even breathing. Reverse your circle. And then coming back. Notice if you feel any tenderness. And if so, try to send your breath to that spot. So you inhale and let the breath, maybe you have to close your eyes. You let the breath sort of find that tension. Exhale it out. And now we're letting the hands go to the floor. Inhale, arms up, gazing up at the space between the hands. Exhale, turn to the right, and the arms come on either side of the body. Sitting up nice and tall, so we're not cranking around just to twist a little deeper. Sitting up nice and tall. Gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale, bringing the arms back up above the head. Exhale, the opposite direction. Gazing over the left shoulder now. Holding on to the posture, keeping the nice even breathing. On an exhale, coming back to center. And now we're going to walk the hands out. Take a moment to stretch here. We're going to use every single second. Not one wasted movement. And then we'll gently rock forward. The hands are right below the shoulders. The knees are almost to the edges of the mat. The big toes touch. And then take your hips back to your heels for child's pose. And the forehead comes all the way down to the mat. Arms are outstretched. Fingers are spread wide. And just let yourself sink in. Nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale. And then you can bring your hands into a prayer above the head, pushing down from the back of the elbows, stretching out the back of the upper arm here, a spot that isn't always easy to stretch. And then the arms come back to the floor, sinking the weight over to the right, feeling the left hip open. And the opposite side, opening the right hip, back to center. On an inhale, the right arm reaches up, peeling up and open, up high, and then send the right arm under the left arm. The right palm is facing upward. And now I'm pushing the right shoulder down into the floor. Thread the needle pose. So you're getting a stretch on the outside of the upper arm. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right arm back to meet the other. Back to child's pose. Inhale, the left arm reaches up, peeling open. Exhale, sending the left arm under the right arm. The left palm is facing upward, facing the ceiling. Pressing the left shoulder downward. Thread the needle. Inhale, exhale, the left arm comes out. And then we're raising the torso up off of the mat. The eyes face forward. The gaze is a few feet out from the edge of the mat. And the fingers are spread wide. And then you're going to sort of sink low right above your hands. Push up and then come back. Keep the lower back nice and soft here. And all the way back. The eyes are forward. Up, and then bring the knees right under the hips. So kind of check yourself and make sure you're aligned here. You want to make sure that your shoulders are right above your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. Your knees are right below your hips. And the back is straight. Tabletop. Inhale, and the belly drops toward the floor. Lift the tailbone, the eyes, the top of the head, gaze up. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, pushing the mat away. Cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale. Exhale. You can do a few of just these, or you can bring drawing circles with the neck and the hips moving together along with that same breath. Exhale, inhale, coming up, exhale, coming down. And then come back to stillness. Your shoulders might already be kind of warming up. So remember, your fingers are spread wide here. That's your base. You can take your arms out a little bit further for these next few if you feel like you need to. I want you to bring your hand to your abdomen, right where your belly button is, just about, and practice just kind of tightening that up. Like if I said I was going to tickle you, you would kind of tighten up. So tighten that up, let it go. And then let the hand go right to where the belly button is, just below the belly button. We're tightening up a little lower. And then one hand's width lower. Now, sometimes you have to have your hand there to actually feel that happening, especially women who might have had a cesarean, any scar tissue, or sometimes you just can't feel it. And, you know, it's not due to scar tissue, but I would like you to be able to get in touch with those muscles and be able to distinguish those three areas as we move through this and as you get used to doing the movement. So inhale, tighten up your abdomen, and the right arm is level with the back. We're not pointing down and we're not reaching up, just nice and level, one straight line, gazing out at the fingers. And then the left leg, one long line. Everything's pulling out from the center like petals on a daisy or like the rays of the sun. Exhale, bring it all down, let go. Inhale, the left arm, level with the back. Tighten up the abdomen, gazing out at the fingers, and then the right leg, one long line. Sometimes it's hard to tell if your leg is in alignment. You might have it up like this or down. Just keep doing it. You know, eventually you'll get to the point where you know where it is. Exhale, bring it all down. Inhale, right arm, abdomen, left leg. Exhale, bring the elbow and the knee past each other. Tighten everything up, holding it all up. Exhale, one long line and down. Inhale, left arm, abdomen, right leg. One long line. Exhale, bring the knee and elbow past each other. Tuck it all up tight. Holding it. And one long line again. And down. Your shoulders are probably really warmed up by now. Inhale, right arm, abdomen, left leg. Gaze out at your fingers, and then we're going to sweep the right arm back as you curl the left foot up toward the ceiling. You're just going to rest your hand on the top of the foot. And the foot is pulling up towards the ceiling. I'm not pulling it with my hand. My arm is just kind of along for the ride. And I'm trying not to sink into the base here. You want to be up. Exhale, come back to that long line. You don't want to slingshot. And then bring it all down. Good job. Inhale, the left arm. the abdomen and the right leg. One long line, looking out at your fingers. And then the right foot curls up towards the ceiling. The left arm sweeps back. Nice steady breathing. On an exhale, come back to that long line and then bring it all down with control. You don't want to just let go and fling back. Inhale, right arm, left leg, active core. It's not just your stomach working here, it's the whole band around the middle. Curling up, reaching back. Exhale, and then swoop it all out to the side. Back, whoop, back to that line and down. Whew. Inhale, left arm, abdomen, right leg. Reaching out, curling, sweeping. Back to that long line. Swoop it all out. Long line and down. Whew. And now, to give your shoulders a rest, you can sink down onto your forearms. We're going to shuffle back here. And inhale, and you're going to pop up onto your toes for a low plank. Stay up as long as you can. Now, you want to make sure that you don't have your bum up really high in this, just because it's not the beneficial work to the core that you want it to be if you're not in one long line. Slowly lower the knees, and for puppy pose, you just kind of sink back, straightening the arms, opening up in the shoulder blades, right under the arms. And we come back into that tabletop. So the fingers are spread wide. The wrists are right below the shoulders here. Knees are below the hips. Inhale, pop the toes up so you can push off. Bring the knees up off of the mat. And then you're going to press the torso right to your quads. And slowly start lowering the ankles. Downward dog. Hips are reaching high, the arms are straight, the back is straight, but the knees can be bent. You don't have to have your ankles on the mat. Your first downward dog or ever. One tip to make sure you're in downward dog properly is that you should be able to go from here to here. So from downward dog to high plank without having to move the hands or feet. So try that. And then you're sort of pedaling out or walking the dog, some people call it. Straightening one leg, stretching the other. And then look out at your hands and take one big step up towards the top of the mat, and then bring the other foot in. We're right at the edges of the mat here. The feet are wide apart. Bend the knees, grab the elbows, and then just let your head and neck kind of hang loose. Ragdoll. letting go. You can sway from side to side. You can touch your chin to your shoulders. Gently let go of the elbows. Slowly we will stand up. We don't want to get dizzy. Still got our feet sort of at the edges of the mat here. Let the hands, the palms face forward. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, dropping the left arm, reaching over with the right, opening the right side body. Inhale brings you up, and we switch the arms out, opening the left, keeping the face, the gaze turned upward. Exhale, come all the way up. And then bring the feet under the hips. Nice and aligned here. Mountain pose. Reaching up. Exhale, bring the hands all the way through. You can bend your knees here if you need to. Plant the hands with wide fingers. Step back to high plank. Gaze forward and chaturanga down. Point the toes at the wall behind you. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. The ears are right next to the biceps. The hips are reaching high. Inhale, the right leg lifts up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the right knee close to your chin, rocking forward. And then drop that right foot between the hands, dropping the back ankle so the foot is almost parallel with the back of the mat. Inhale, reaching up. Trying to let the right toes spread out and really grab the mat. Reaching up, gazing up at the space between the hands. Exhale, and the hands frame that front foot. Wide fingers on the mat. Bring that foot back. Chaturanga down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts up. The eyes are toward the hands. Exhale, bring the left knee close to the chin as you rock forward. And then drop that foot. Drop the back ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Gazing up. Exhale, the hands frame the foot. You can put the weight on the hands here and then pull that left foot back. Gaze forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, the right leg lifts up and then bend the knee, opening the hip. And then we're going to draw big circles with that knee, isolating the glutes. And then bring that knee close as you rock forward and drop that foot. Drop the back ankle, sweep the arms up. Exhale as we go into warrior two. The gaze is right out over the right middle finger. The left palm faces up as you bring the arm up and over. Frame that front foot, and then bring the left foot up. Big toes touch. Let your hips come down low, reaching up, gazing up. The weight is on the heels, so you can actually lift your toes up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Plant the hands and step back. You can vinyasa through or go right to downward dog. Your vinyasa is your chaturanga, upward dog to downward dog. Inhale, the left leg reaches up. Bend the knee. And then draw big circles. Bring the knee close and then rock forward and drop that foot. Drop the back ankle. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Gazing out over that middle finger on the left hand. Flip your right palm upward and then sweep that arm up and over. Brace yourself and pop up here for chair pose. You want to make sure your back is not scooped out. You want to tuck it all in. Exhale, forward fold. Flat against the mat, about hip width apart. And we're sitting up nice and straight. Again, not slouched forward and not, pushing the chest out. Just a nice straight spine. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale. We're going to lean back just enough to feel the top of your abdominal muscles engage. It's so simple, but the first time you do it, your entire body will shake. And then come out. Up, leaning back just a bit. And then falling forward. Enjoying the stretch along the back of both legs. You don't have to be able to grab your toes. Wherever you reach is fine. Just enjoy the stretch. And then let your hands walk your body back. Sitting up nice and tall. Tucking in the right foot. Sitting up nice and straight. We're going to turn so that the belly button is pointed at the toes on the left foot. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, falling over that leg. Inhale, rise. Exhale, turning now. So the belly button is now pointed out over the top of your right leg. Inhale, reaching up. And we fall over that leg again, but with the side of the body. So you can sort of grab the outside of the big toe if you can reach, or just kind of let your hand lay. And you're bringing up and over that right arm, up and over. Taking the gaze up toward the ceiling, always looking up. On an inhale, let the right arm sweep up and over like a rainbow, And then plant the hand with wide fingers into the mat behind the body. And you're going to take your left arm up and over, pushing the hips up. One long line, opening up the side body. Exhale, and then sweeping back. Letting the right leg come out. Tucking the left leg in. Sitting up nice and tall. And the belly button is pointed at the toes on the right foot. Inhale, up. Exhale, falling over that right leg. Rise on an inhale, turning the torso so the belly button is pointed right out over that left leg. Inhale, and then we fall to the side. Sort of like the leg is right next to the body now. The left arm up and over, and we're taking the gaze up to the ceiling, always looking up. You don't have to be able to reach the toes. And then the left arm comes up and over like a rainbow. Wide fingers, wide base, pressing into the mat, and the right arm sweeps up, pushing the hips up off the mat. One long line. Exhale, sweeping all the way down. Bring both feet together. The kids call this a butterfly, because you can flap your wings. But you're just going to press those feet together and sort of sink out over that midline. Just enough to where you feel your hips opening, that stretch. If it's true that we hold negative emotion in our hips, then we should do this every day. There's not a right or wrong, place to get to. Just grab the stretch. And then coming up. And the legs are bent. The feet are flat on the mat. So when I say boat, that might look different for some people. For some people, they can do the full expression. But keeping your back straight here is very important. So if you can't do that, straighten the legs just because it looks pretty. Do what's best for your back. Okay, so inhale and up. Keeping the back straight. You can feel your lower abdomen doing a lot of work here. Down. Inhale and up. Down. Now we're going to shuffle up to our knees. The legs are about hip width apart. So for camel pose, I want you to imagine that your body is pressed against the wall, and with your hands on your hips, you're going to close your eyes and see your spine growing taller. And on an exhale, you're going to pull your head and chest away from that wall and push your hips closer to it. The heart is reaching up. Exhale, letting go, sinking back, and we're going to take the spine in the exact opposite direction and curl forward. Now for balancing, it's important, in my opinion, to come to mountain pose in between each asana, in between each pose. So the feet are directly below the hips, palms face forward, and remember, you know, you're not spilling that bowl. We want everything in alignment. So the toes on your feet grab the mat. You're plugging in all four corners of each foot. Rooting down to rise up. The top of your head is reaching higher. And we keep our eyes up. The chin is parallel with the floor. You will go where you focus in life and in yoga. So we focus up. We focus on good things. Pouring the weight into the right foot. Grabbing the mat with the right toes. Activate the abdomen. And then the left foot can be a kickstand. Balancing on the toes, or it can be on the calf, or up in the inner thighs, but not on the knee. And then grow your branches for tree pose. If you feel like your balance is leaving you, reach higher. When this becomes easy, you can begin moving the arms around, taking your gaze to different areas of the room, and you'll find that it's enacting different muscle groups in the body. You can feel everything responding to you moving your arms around, and it can become a whole new workout. So on an exhale, come back to standing in mountain with control. Stand tall. Standing strong. Inhale, the left foot grabs the mat. Activate your abdomen. And then your right foot can be the kickstand, the calf, or the inner thigh, just not on the knee. Eyes up. On an exhale, with control, come back to standing in mountain. Inhale, left hand, left knee. Standing tall, that string's coming right out of the top of your head, holding you up. Looking at something that is stationary. Eyes up, opening the hip. Bring it back. Straightening out the left leg. You can straighten it an inch or two off the ground or straight out. Go a little bit further than what's comfortable. And then we pivot from the hips. The palms face the floor. Airplane. Slowly come back with control to mountain. And then right hand, right knee. Activate your abdomen. Open the hip. Bring it back. Straighten out the leg. And then the palms face the floor as you hinge forward. Keeping the eyes up. We're not looking down. We're not going there. airplane. And then whoop, slowly and with control, coming back down to mountain. Standing tall. Laying flat, the knees are bent, so the feet are flat against the floor. Let your hands come down and make sure that you can reach your ankles with the tips of your fingers. If you can't, then you need to bring your feet closer. And the legs are about hip width apart. So you're going to round your shoulder blades under the body a little bit so the chest sort of rounds out. The hands are flat against the mat. On an inhale, push the hips up toward the ceiling and tuck the chin into the chest. And then lace the fingers together under the body, bridge pose. Exhale, coming down. Make sure your back is touching the floor here. And then windshield wiper your knees so they both go to the left. And then they both go to the right. And then come back down. We're going to bring the knees close to the body. And this can really be nice for the lower back if you ever have back pain. And then straightening the legs out. Great for circulation. To do this once a day. You can stay right here, or you can go into candlestick or shoulder stand and holding the hips up, reaching up with the toes. And then gently let your back come back down to the mat and bring the knees close to the body. And we're gonna hold on to the right knee and then extend the left leg. Hold on to your right knee and then extend the left leg so that it is a few inches off or above the ground. And point the toes on the left foot. Holding on to the right knee like this is keeping the lower back on the mat. So we're exercising the abdomen, and you can place your left hand here on the side so you can feel your core working, but we're protecting the back by holding on to the knee like this. Holding both legs up where the left leg is now would be a lot of work, and it could hurt the lower back if you're not ready or if you have a previous injury. So we bring that left knee in close to the body, hug it tight, and extend the right leg, pointing the toes. Being sure to keep the lower back pressed into the floor. And bringing that right knee back. And we take the left leg up and across the body. The palms are on the floor, and you gaze over that left shoulder. Wringing out any negativity, wringing out any fear or stress. inhale and then flop back to that middle line. On your back, let one foot go to one corner, one foot goes to the other, rounding the shoulder blades under the body, the palms face the ceiling, closing your eyes for Savasana. Take a nice cleansing breath. And let go.